We want to get right to that Atlanta woman who says she was tied up during a home invasion on Tuesday, somehow managed to type out a cry for help on her computer using just her toes. We're going to hear from her in just a moment, but first, Steve Osinsami has this bizarre story.
It was around midnight early Tuesday morning, and Amy Wyndham was already asleep in bed. She says an armed robber wearing a ski mask broke into her home, hit her in the forehead with his handgun, and then used shoelaces to tie her hands to the corners of her bed. He left with her cell phone, iPod, and her car, but for some reason left this laptop behind. She was still tied to the headboard, but was close enough to reach and grab the laptop with her feet. She says she started typing into the computer with her toes, using this power cord to tap the keys, sending instant messages to her boyfriend over the internet. Hours later, at 5:01, she managed to write "help." A few minutes later, call 911 police. She didn't always spell correctly, but she sure got the message across. I'm home tied to bed, typing with toes, robbed midnight.
I was in shock. I couldn't believe it.
Her boyfriend, who happened to be up and logged in, called police immediately. While he's dialing 911, he wrote back, "Did they have any weapons?" She wrote, "Gun, have car."
She's very creative. She's a fighter, and she knows how to, use what she's got.
When police arrived, they untied her. They're now looking for her stolen car and the young man who took it. For Good Morning America, Steve Osinsami, ABC News, Atlanta.
Amy Marie Wyndham joins us now, along with her boyfriend, John Hilton. Good morning to you both. It is so good to see you. And Amy, especially you, I know that you were held for more than 5 hours. You were hit on the head. How are you doing this morning?
All things considered, I'm doing remarkably well. Thank you, Robin.
Well, you look remarkably well. Many are calling this your MacGyver moment, Amy. So can you tell us what happened on Tuesday?
So the intruder broke in around midnight, came into my bedroom, held a gun to my head, and for the next hour he was in my house. He at one point had me dragged through the house to find all of my valuables. Fought him off to try to get the gun away initially, and so after we went through the house, he tied me by my wrists to my bed rails, and so I was tied like that for the next hour while he was in the house. He left ultimately, and then I was captive for, I guess, the next 3 hours, yelling, trying to get someone on the street walking by to hear me.
So Amy, the burglar took your valuables but left the computer there. You were able to somehow pull the computer closer to you on the bed. How'd you do that?
I pulled the comforter over and then dragged the laptop over with my feet and was able to pry it open and start hitting the keys with my toes and learning how to do that.
Control-Alt-Delete. How in the world can you type Control-Alt-Delete with your toes?
So I learned very quickly that using both of my big toes wasn't going to work. Hitting 3 keys at one time with 2 toes, or 10 toes, but 2 that are most readily usable, wasn't going to work. So I realized that I could hit the Control and Alt with my right toe, and then that's when I started using the end of the power cord for the laptop and clamped it in between the other toes on my left foot and used that as a tool to hit the delete key.
And are we seeing your feet right now? Is that the computer at your feet?
Yes.
So can you demonstrate for us how you were able to do that, Amy?
Sure. So basically I used my right toe to operate the mouse on this touchpad, and I used my left toe and clamped this power cord between my toes to hit the keys. So I had a few typos, as you can imagine. It's not the easiest thing to do, but that's how I did it.
And so when you see this message from your girlfriend, help, what first went through your mind?
She says, check your email. And it was a little bit slow coming, but I got it. And then, I just soon realized how severe or serious the situation was.
I know that there have been some break-ins in your neighborhood, Amy. Any leads on who could have done this? What's the latest in the investigation?
I haven't heard the latest this morning. I understand that they've recovered my car, which is nice, but I don't know the latest on the investigation. I know that the Atlanta police are working very hard to try to find this man.
I have to be honest, there were just a few people that were going, a little bit skeptical, but after seeing that demonstration, I think you proved that yes, you are capable of something like that. But have you heard people just be a little bit suspicious about how this happened, how it could have happened?
You know, it never occurred to me that anyone would be suspicious until I saw some reference about it in an article yesterday. I don't know. There's no way I could have done this other than what I described, being restrained the way I was.
Well, John and Amy, you are quite a dynamic duo. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much, Robin.
I hope they get the person who did this. Thank you. Thank you both. She may have fighted her skeptics seeing her do it live like that and be able to
also
maneuver.
Just seeing the look on her face. I love that image. This never crossed my mind.
Why would someone make this up? You can read more of the text messages that Amy Wyndham typed with her toes at abcnews.com/GMA. And thank goodness her boyfriend was up at 5:30 in the morning and online like that.